What is up, gamers? Staxwell's back at it again today with another video, another installment of the FABlosophy series. I'm kind of turning this into a bit of a podcast kind of thing, and today I'm joined by my boy Riddler Man Gaming. What's going on, Riddler?
Hey everybody, what's up all you cardboard warriors? That's mine. Yeah.
He for those of you who don't know, he also does Market Watch content. So we got a lot to talk about. What the main thing I want to talk about is sealed versus singles. Which one is a better investment? I'll let you go ahead and take the lead there, Riddle. What do you think?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Personally, I think that they're kind of looked at. They should be looked at as two different types of investment. Whereas I would look at singles more like a trade, and I would look at sealed more like a long-term investment, meaning over 5 years. Whereas singles will be your 3 to 6 months. You're going to get in at a low point, and you're going to try to put a value that you want to get out of it, and then if it hits that for whatever reason, maybe you've speculated on a set coming out or a hero becoming the meta based on cards coming out, then you would exit part of your position of cards singles at that point, and then take that cash and move it into something else. So that I would see singles being a tradable asset, a tradable investment, and then sealed is something you buy it when you get it low or in bulk. You know, if you get the bundled deals for cheap, and then you just kind of set it on your shelf and you ignore it for as long as you possibly can.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like both of them. I mean, me, I'm a gamer, avid card gamer, so I like to play with the cards. I definitely lean toward the singles market. Mm-hmm. And I think if you're really in tune with the game, there's a lot more bang for your buck with the investment on the single market than there is the sealed market. Yeah, I like singles, especially with an ever-living game like this, right? Like, if you were to hold on to Arcane Rising, what if Mechanologist gets more support, and you're like, oh man, I want to sell this because there's Mechanologist stuff in there or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, but if you just spec'd into all the singles from Arcane Rising, then when the Mechanologist spikes, you could sell the Mechanologist. When the Ranger spikes, you sell the Ranger, Yeah,
100%.
Where do you stand on the unique playable Fabled?
I love them.
Yeah.
I love the Fables. The Fables are my favorite card in every set. I always want them.
But they're so expensive. Players don't want to pay that much for a Fable. What do you say to them?
Don't play it. Don't play it.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. No one's forcing you to play the Fable, bro.
Put a different card in your deck that does something similar.
Even if you get a couple percentage points on your win rate playing the Fable, like, not everyone's trying to win a Pro Tour. I think you can enjoy the game without Fables.
Yeah, and they're not all generic either, right? So, I mean...
Yeah, you could just play a different deck, I guess. Play a different hero. Another thing on the Fable, too, is, like... I think most players would agree with me here is... Say you opened up a box of Everfest, and you pulled the Fable, and you didn't have it already, the Heart of Grandeur. Like, it's not that good. It's kind of expensive. I think most players would just throw it in their binder, right? Because it's a beautiful card. Yeah, look at it. It's beautiful. Yeah. I think most players would be like, I want this. Throw it in the binder. But on the contrary to that, I think if most players open the Fable from Dynasty, the Command and Conquer, I think they would sell it. Because what are your options? You're going to sell it? Or what, are you going to shell out like $2,000 to complete your CNC playset? I think it's like not something players would look forward to. And like, what's the allure of pulling the Fable out of that set is just like, it's almost like, oh, I just want it so I can sell it. Well, then at that point, your box is a slot machine, right? And that's not, it's not what you want out of a product.
I mean, we're going to get to it later, I think, but it kind of feels like the boxes are slot machines right now anyway. So right. I've been feeling like that since 2.0 personally. I'm a big fan of actually the first edition unlimited format. Whereas, like, if I'm going to put a little bit more money into first edition, I'm going to get a cold foil, pretty much. Like, almost. Almost always I'm going to get a cold foil. It may not be a good one. I kind of like that, where, like, I just kind of, like, at least knew what to expect out of my box, but, I've hit some amazing cards out of Unlimited too, so I guess I can't complain. But I mean, 2.0 feels very randomized to me.
Yeah, I need to see still what happens to Uprising long term, like after it goes out of print. Because if you look at like WTR and stuff, like Iron Rod equipment and Snapdragon scalers and all that stuff, like hundreds of dollars, right?
Yeah.
So what's going to happen to the commons that are cold foil from Uprising, like a Silken Touch? Like, what's going to happen to something like that long term?
Do you think that those aren't good? I've been asked this myself, and I didn't really know how to answer it because somebody asked me, because they know I collect the common cold foils. I just like how they look. I like how all the cold foils look.
Yeah.
And they asked me, like, is that a good investment? I said, probably not. Like, percentage-wise, yeah, sure, you might double your money and go to $2 instead of $1.
Yeah.
I was like, but is that really where you want to put your money? Like, do you want to tie your money up in something that might never move for like 6 months, and if it does move, it goes up 25 cents? Or would you rather just buy a Fable that could move, 10% on a Fable movement is $40-$50 right now, so.
Yeah, it just depends on the cold foil, I think. It will go up eventually, and then the commoner format, I think, will gain popularity and start having side events. And I can see a world where there's like a battle hardened or a calling commoner event, and all the pros on Twitter lose their minds over it. Yeah, I could see something like that happen, and those kind of events would spike the price of cards like Deep Blue. I could see something like that happening.
Well, you seem to be really like I watched all your videos, right? You seem to be really attuned to like what the competitive scene is doing, and then being able to go back into the market, kind of pulling out the idea of what legendaries or what cards may be useful in that could be investment type cold foils. What are you seeing right now with like the way Outsiders has just dropped? Does that impact any of the older cards that you've been looking at that maybe haven't moved in price for a while? Avoiding New Horizon and that crowd, that we know is
I think most of it's pretty out in the open. Yeah, cards like New Horizon and stuff. I don't think there's any hidden gems from old sets. I think some of the new cards are undervalued, like the Codex of Frailty. No, wait. Yeah, Codex of Frailty. That's the one that puts from the graveyard face down, I think. That one's probably undervalued. I could see that one being like $30 just for the regular Majestic.
I think I just
that's like the hit from the set, I feel like. Yeah, I still need to get my set. I don't even have it yet. So yeah, I don't think anything old is really.
That one.
But Azalea is making waves right now. I don't know if you've seen.
Yeah, I've seen her drop 14 attacks with Dominate that gave me Bloodrot box and stuff like that. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, there's some kind of min-max Realm Games, some kind of big tournament in Chicago today.
Yep, the Brawl. Yeah.
Swiss Brody was undefeated on Azalea.
Wow.
And there was another Azalea in top 8 who had only one loss, and that one loss was to Brody on Azalea. So.
Oh shit!
Effective.
The waifus are out there right now.
Azaleas, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so maybe we'll see like Red in the Ledger spike up after this or something like that.
Yeah, I can tell you this. I typically sell all the Majestics for the classes that I don't play when I break boxes, because there's no point in holding on to them for me. Like I could, that's not what I'm investing in or collecting. So I sell them all. And I can tell you this. I sell out of all of my battering bolts and all that stuff. Like I sell out of all of them instantly when I pull that stuff.
Yeah.
So people are definitely buying up those old Majestics, and
I have a couple classes that I'm conceded to never playing, and Ranger's one of them. So every time I get a Ranger card, I just get rid of it. It's like that and Mechanologist, and that's it. Those are the only ones I just am never gonna play.
So since just holding it for myself, so I'm like, here, take it, dump it at like 10% lower than TCG low, and let somebody else play with it. I'll take the money and put it into something I want. So I'm doing what you're like. I do what you talk about, right? And what I think what the service that we provide people, and people may not appreciate this as much as I think that they should, is what we provide people is a service where we kind of know what we're looking for. We know where values could be. And I don't mind. I enjoy digging through it all. I enjoy digging through the sales data, what's been selling, the most recent sales, what's the current price points on things. And that's why, like, I'm buying. We talked about it earlier before we started this, but I'm buying a lot of brute stuff right now. And I've already got my position, so I don't care what happens now. But like Skullhorn, Rainbow Foils, the Mandible Claws at $85 for a cold foil. I mean, come on, that's a Crucible of War, right? A Crucible of War item that's pretty much used in all the brutes, and it's $85. Like, I feel like those things are going to spike when that Savage Land set drops, whenever it is in the future, at some point. And that's I think what you and I bring is we're saying, hey, look, this is, I literally say on mine, I show them exactly what I'm looking for, and half the time I'm adding stuff to cart while I'm talking about it live, and it's just, I'm serious. I'm watching it live with people and saying, this is what I'm going to look at. This is why I like it. Oh, that is a good deal. I'm going to add to my cart.
Yeah, I've done a couple on my videos.
It's about as open as candid as you can get, man.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I think Brute's a good pickup right now. I mean, that's how you should do it. Ranger's super hype right now. If you were just an investor looking to get the most bang for your buck in this game, you should get rid of all your Ranger cards and then pick up the Brute cards, because those are next to spike, and then when Brute spikes, you could sell it and then pick up the old Ranger cards again.
Just figure it out, right? Metrix is coming up. Mysteria is coming up. Mysteria, they're going to drop probably some new weapon types for Ninja and things. Like, it's all kind of in the lore. It's in the books. It's in the interviews. If you just take the time to read it, You can see what's coming.
That's something.
And I've done that research. Like I know it.
I need to dig.
I know what's coming up. Like I know what classes are coming. I know kind of an idea of when. All that kind of stuff. So it's like you just kind of wait and you sit on it and you say, okay, let's pull the trigger now because now it's being underappreciated, right? So.
Right. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So have you seen these God boxes that people have been pulling?
Yeah, I'm like losing my stomach because mine are not God boxes when I open them. I can tell you that.
so that's the problem with it, right? I think that if you have a regular box, a regular case, and you look at someone who has a God box, you kind of have like a distaste in your mouth toward LSS,
Well, yeah, it's like and it sounds awkward, but like I'm like extremely happy for people that are pulling great cards. Like I enjoy seeing the cool pulls and like I watch box openings, all that stuff. But then like you go and you spend your $400 on your case, and like it's hard to even be happy about 1 or 2 legendaries. You see other people getting like 65, like damn man, but 2 is good,
Yeah, I actually didn't buy a ton of this set because I just plan on drafting it so much.
100% agree with you.
The legendaries, so I didn't feel a need to buy it. I do want to get all of those Marvel codexes, so I'm probably about to. My bank account's gonna hate me after that, but I'm gonna get those at some point. But maybe that's why I don't have a problem with it because I didn't buy any. So I see someone with a God case and I'm like, good for you, man. Like as long as it's not so frequent that it's like driving all of the prices across the whole market down, I like the God cases. I think
that's it's hard to determine, right, with like social media, like how prevalent something could be, because everybody talks about it and it blows up your feed and the algorithms on those social media platforms just feed you more of that crap. So it makes you feel like everything is happening all the time, but it may just be like 3 cases.
Yeah, I think I've seen like about 3 of them that are like that out of the thousands and thousands that have been sold, right? So it's probably not a huge deal.
And I've personally talked to, I think you're in some of the Discords that I'm in, but I've like had conversations with a lot of these people that have been opening 1,000 boxes, 500 boxes, 600 boxes, and their data does not collaborate with what we're seeing on these random, YouTube channels or Twitter feeds where people are like, look what I got. Their data is totally different. It's way more balanced.
It's also entirely possible that not everyone's being completely truthful with their God cases and they're just doing it for a little bit of Twitter clout.
100% people can be possible. Like FOMOing into the hype of getting views and clicks because they're just going to take a picture of a bunch of cards that they have in their LGS and they're going to say they pulled it. 100%. I'm sure this happens. I mean, Trench is under $50 right now. Trench is Sunken Treasure under $50 in Rainbow Foil. Van Brace is $53. Like it's definitely dropped. I've been watching it pretty steadily for the last like 2-3 days.
Yeah, I think it will probably continue. I think if you're looking to heavy bags into the singles, I'd say give it another week or 2 before you start buying stuff.
See, I kind of disagree with that. I almost think unless you need it for your skirmish or your competitive play, I guess you don't really need an extended art cold foil for that. But if you do need cards, like these high-end cards, I think you should give it like 5 more weeks because you said something very key. You're not buying product because you plan to draft it a lot, right? Mm-hmm. Every side event limited format is going to be Outsiders at Baltimore. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a huge event where tons of product is going to be put into people's hands, and they're going to want to sell those cards that they pull to pay for their trip, to pay for their tickets, to pay for their food, lodging. And I think that you're going to see a market saturation happen right after or during Baltimore. And I think there's going to be opportunity to buy after that point. I hope that I'm not wrong.
No, I agree with what you're saying, but there's also a lot of room to push back on that too. So there is going to be that, but then, I'm a player, so I need those cards for Baltimore, right? So I'll give it a week, then I'll buy it, and I'll have it in time for Baltimore. But also, say Uzuri comes out of nowhere and wins the event, all of a sudden everyone's buying an Uzuri deck, right?
That's
so
true.
If you waited till after Pro Tour, the price is 2 or 3 times more than you would have if you just bought it 3 days earlier, right?
That is fair. And right now, if you're really looking at the Majestic prices, there's undercutting hell going on right now. You want to talk about like kind of, I think we should circle back a little bit on the Fables. I don't know if we cover that too much, but about the playability of Fables just from the cost. Like, what do you think would be a solution if the Fables weren't playable? Like, would they be a collectible? I mean,
yeah, the alternative would be, I think the alternative that a lot of creators and influencers are proposing is like the CNC, right? They want a Marvel version of an existing card, so like a Marvel Enlightened Strike or something, they would like that more.
What are these?
Yeah, I like those better than the Marvel.
Yeah. They're classic. It's like the sleek classic sexy.
It's got that OG art, bro.
Yeah. It's good. Well, I don't know. I like the new Fable a lot. It got some hate at first because it's like a skull, but I think it fits the theme perfectly of this whole like sunken pirate theme going on with the pits and the smugglers and stuff coming out of the pits. But what do you think about it? Like, kind of going into it's almost like that card is more valuable in Ultimate Pit Fight, right?
Yeah, it is.
Because you give multiple heroes random tokens.
Yeah, right. It's still well statted though. I think it's still like you could get a net 1 pitching it than you would pitching a normal yellow card, right?
Okay.
On average. And if you're playing a deck that plays a lot of yellows, which I actually think could be good in a deck like Uzuri, I actually don't think she uses that 3rd mana from pitching blues well enough to justify playing blues. So I've actually been messing around with a Uzuri deck that's just red and yellow, because all you need is yellow, because you're just going to like Spider's Bite, Stealth card, flash it out for like a 2-cost attack.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you'll pitch a yellow and attack with the 2-cost attack. If you pitched a blue and attack with the 2-cost attack, it's the same thing either way, right? It's like that 3rd mana isn't being fully actualized, so you don't need it. And if you're just playing yellows, then your deck is twice as good as second cycle than a player playing blue.
Yeah, I like that idea. I didn't think about that with the cost of the weapon, but because you're blue, I guess you could proc your equipment or something with that one time. But you can't, like you said, the second cycle, you can't do it again.
Yeah, the only time the blue comes up is if you have a Tunic resource. So you could like pitch a blue, then you could get 2 Spider Bites out of that blue with the Tunic resource, and then come in with the Stealth and flash in a CNC or whatever.
Yeah.
So only with the Tunic resource does it come up. So I'm not fully I don't know. It's like, is the blues worth it just because every 3 turns the Tunic makes that extra mana something? Or is the yellows more worth it because second cycle your deck is literally twice as good as
we need like
player?
90 more games under our belt to know.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm still testing it. It could just be trash. Who knows?
Well, how are you testing it?
Just playing with friends. I have a good group of guys here from Vegas. We have a pretty competitive scene, so I like to test with them on Talishar or in real life. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's actually one of the US one. What else do I want to talk about? I was curious about your take on Talishar, because there is a lot of talk. Well, not a lot of talk, but there was some talk, especially around spoiler season, about whether or not Talishar should have the cards available for playtesting. What is your take on Talishar basically it's a database, that needs to have the most updated version of information. Yeah. What is your take on people being able to use that pre-spoiler season or pre-release events as practice?
I think that's fine. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, if it wasn't on Talishar, then me and my friends would print it out and we'd cut it out and we put it on the cards. And that's not entirely fair to someone who doesn't have access to a IRL friend group, but even they could just webcam it. Like, there's no way around it, right? Mm-hmm. I think I do understand the criticisms of it, like, oh, well, it's not really fair to players who aren't grinding that you're playing with the cards before they're even out, And I think actually LSS shouldn't be spoiling 100% of the set before it comes out. I think that would solve a lot of issues, and I think it would make it more fun to open too. Like, if you don't actually know every card that's in that set, you're like way slower opening it. You're like, oh, what's this? What's this? So I think I
couldn't agree with you more on that part, because that was always my question. It's like, well, what's the solution? Well, the solution is either you don't spoil all the cards, maybe you just spoil a select few, and you give multiple people those spoilers or something if you want to take care of all these content creators or whatever your plan is. But the other thing is maybe you also don't have spoiler season be so stretched out before preseason pre-release. Like, maybe truncate it more to like 3 days. It's less time to prepare.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it's still hyped. It's still spoiler. It's still content creator like support. But it's not like 2 weeks out to where I can literally have planned everything out. Like,
yeah, like what if they just spoiled the head jab combo line for Katsu?
There you go. Yeah.
Open your pack and you're like, oh, what the Bonds of Ancestry? What is this? And you find there's a whole nother Katsu combo line. Like, how hype would that be? That would be so cool from a new like from a first time opening the pack perspective. Yeah, I think they could spoil like half the cards in the set, and we could still build just as much hype and still keep a lot of mystery and a lot of treats and a lot of goodies in it. I think that's the way it should be. And if some content creators need to give up their spoiler for that, I volunteer. I don't mind.
You'll get the card someday anyway.
Yeah, I'm not.
I think it is cool though that they do give out spoilers to. I mean, I think it's really neat that LSS does so much to try to support the community that's trying to help grow the game. You can't say anything but nice things about that, because you look at other TCGs that kind of act like their content creators don't even exist, or that they have no impact, or they want to try to take money from them through royalties, stuff like that.
Yeah, they seem to be the only company that gives a at all about their community. So respect to them on that front.
Yeah, so I think it's cool, but yeah, I think there's definitely some adjustments you can make so that it's a little bit more surprise, wow factor, excitement around the pre-release events, and we'll see what happens. I mean, there were some other issues with like that, but I'm sure they're going to get all that worked out. But.
All right, thank you so much for watching, gamers. If you guys have anything to add to that, don't forget to let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to Riddlerman here. I will leave a link to his channel in the description. And yeah, thanks for watching, gamers. Later.
Take care.